The knock came just after 7 a.m., sharp and deliberate, the kind that's meant to sound official, not a neighbor, not a delivery, the kind of knock that assumes authority before a single word is spoken. I was already awake, sitting at the kitchen counter with a cup of coffee, scrolling through overnight reports. The house was quiet, the street even quieter. That's why it stood out immediately. 3 knocks, evenly spaced, then silence. I didn't rush to the door, I never do. Instead, I pulled up the camera feed on my phone. 2 men stood on the porch. Dark shirts, utility belts, badges clipped at the waist. They were trying to look like law enforcement, but something was off. The posture was too stiff, too intentional. Real officers don't pose like that. They don't need to. I walked to the door and opened it halfway. "Morning," I said. The taller one stepped forward. "Sir, we need you to step outside." No introduction, no explanation. That was my first confirmation. "Why?" I asked calmly. "We have orders to detain you," he said. I leaned slightly against the doorframe. "From who?" "HOA Enforcement Division," the second one added quickly. There it was. I nodded slowly, like I was processing something complicated. "And that gives you the authority to detain me?" "Yes," the first one said without hesitation. That told me everything, because anyone who actually has that kind of authority doesn't need to say it like that. "All right," I said. "Let's slow this down." They exchanged a glance, probably not expecting cooperation. "You're claiming you can detain me under HOA rules," I continued. "Do those rules override state law?" Neither of them answered right away. "We're not here to argue," the taller one said. "Step outside." I didn't move. Instead, I reached into my pocket slowly. Both of them tensed immediately. "Relax," I said. "If I was a threat, we wouldn't be talking." I pulled out my wallet and flipped it open just enough. Not dramatic, not rushed, just enough for them to see. The reaction was instant. Their eyes locked onto the badge. Then back to my face, then back to the badge again. Everything changed. Confidence disappeared. Authority vanished, replaced by something much quieter. Realization. "You said you had orders," I said calmly. "Go ahead, repeat that." Neither of them spoke, because now they understood. They weren't standing in front of just another homeowner. They were standing in front of someone who actually knew how this works. "Who sent you?" I asked. The second one swallowed. "We were told to handle a compliance issue." "By who?" Silence again. I nodded. "Let me guess. Someone from the HOA." No answer. That was answer enough. Behind them, down at the curb, I noticed a car parked with the engine still running, and movement inside. Watching, I stepped out onto the porch, closing the door behind me. "You understand what you just tried to do?" I asked. The taller one looked down briefly. "We were just following instructions." "That's not a defense," I said. "Not for impersonating law enforcement." That word hit. Impersonating, because now this wasn't just awkward, it was criminal. "I suggest you take those badges off," I added. Now they didn't argue, didn't hesitate. They unclipped them immediately. I reached out and took one, turning it over in my hand. Cheap metal, no official marking, just something designed to fool people who wouldn't question it. The car door down the street opened, and there she was, walking toward us like she had been waiting for a cue, mid-40s, clipboard in hand. That same unmistakable confidence, the kind that comes from never being challenged until now. "What's going on?" she asked, looking between me and the 2 men. No one answered her, so I did. "You sent them to arrest me," I said. "It's not an arrest," she replied quickly. "It's enforcement of community rules." I almost laughed. "You don't have enforcement authority," I said. "And they definitely don't have arrest powers." She glanced at the men. "What did you tell him?" They stayed quiet, because now they knew better. "He's been ignoring violations," she insisted. "We had no choice." "You had every choice," I replied. "Just none of them involved this." Her confidence cracked slightly. "This is being blown out of proportion," she said. "No," I said calmly. "This is exactly what happens when you cross the line." I pulled out my phone and made a call. Short, direct, no drama. She watched me unease, replacing that earlier confidence. "Who are you calling?" she asked. Didn't question it. The car door down the street opened, and there she was, walking toward us like she had been waiting for a cue, mid-40s, clipboard in hand. That same unmistakable confidence, the kind that comes from never being challenged until now. "What's going on?" she asked, looking between me and the 2 men. No one answered her, so I did. "You sent them to arrest me," I said. "It's not an arrest," she replied quickly. "It's enforcement of community